I was in the back of an ambulance holding Emma's hand while she fought to breathe. The EpiPen was already in her thigh, but her throat was still closing. I watched her eyes wide with terror as the paramedic put an oxygen mask over her swollen face. This was supposed to be a family dinner, a holiday celebration. Instead, I was watching my wife struggle for her life because the people who raised me thought her deadly allergy was something worth testing. They poisoned her. They called it a prank. And even as she collapsed on their dining room floor, gasping for air, some of them were still laughing. Before I tell you exactly what my family did and how I made them pay for it, I need to know where you are right now. Are you watching this from home? From work, drop a comment and let me know what city or state you are tuning in from. And please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel, because what I'm about to share is not just my story. It is a warning about the people who claim to love you but show you something much darker. Trust me, you will want to hear how this ends. Now, let me take you back to where it all started. I met Emma 3 years ago at a coffee shop in downtown Portland. I was grabbing my usual morning coffee before heading to the construction site where I worked as a project manager. She was sitting by the window with her laptop working on some design project, her dark hair pulled back in a messy bun. Our eyes met when I accidentally bumped her table. She smiled. I apologized about 6 times. She laughed and said it was fine that she needed a break anyway. We talked for 20 minutes, then an hour. I was late to work that day, and I did not care at all. Our first date was at a farmer's market that weekend. We walked through the stalls, sampling honey and fresh bread, talking about everything. She told me she was a graphic designer freelance working from home most days. I told her about my job, about managing crews and timelines and budgets. It felt easy, natural, like we had known each other for years instead of days. On our second date at a small Italian restaurant, Emma told me something important. She pulled out a small medical alert bracelet from her purse and put it on her wrist. She explained that she had a severe tree nut allergy, not the kind where she just avoided nuts because she did not like them, the kind where even trace amounts could trigger anaphylaxis. Her throat would close. Her blood pressure would drop. Without an EpiPen and immediate medical attention, she could die. I remember taking that information seriously right away. I asked questions. What nuts, specifically all tree nuts? Almonds, cashews, walnuts, pecans, hazelnuts, all of them. What about peanuts? Those were legumes, she explained, and she was fine with those. What about cross-contamination? Even that could be dangerous. She always carried 2 EpiPens. She always asked restaurants about ingredients. She always checked labels. A month into our relationship, I saw what a reaction looked like. We were at a friend's house for a barbecue. Emma touched a cutting board that someone had used to chop walnuts earlier. Within minutes, her hand was covered in hives. Her throat started to itch. She stayed calm, took Benadryl immediately, and we left. She did not need the EpiPen that time, but I saw the fear in her eyes. I saw how quickly her body reacted. That was when I truly understood how serious this was. We moved in together after a year. I learned to read labels like a hawk. Our apartment became a nut-free zone. I asked restaurants about cross-contamination before we even sat down. I kept her spare EpiPens in my car. Emma made me feel things I had never felt before. She was warm and funny, creative and kind. She had this way of making me feel like I could be vulnerable, like I did not have to be tough all the time. I remember one night after a terrible day at work, I came home frustrated and exhausted. She did not try to fix it or tell me to toughen up. She just held me and listened. That was love. We got married in a small ceremony 18 months ago. Just close friends, a simple venue, vows we wrote ourselves. It was perfect. Our life together was quiet and happy. We cooked dinner together most nights. We hiked on weekends with our 2 cats waiting for us at home. We talked about the future, about maybe buying a house, about kids someday. Everything felt right. Except for one thing. My family. I grew up in a loud, chaotic household. My parents, Gerald and Patricia, moved to Oregon from the Midwest when I was in high school. My dad was a former high school football coach with a tough love philosophy. Everything was about being strong, not showing weakness, pushing through pain. My mom was a real estate agent who cared a lot about appearances and what other people thought. My brother, Tyler, was 2 years older than me, a car salesman who never grew out of his frat boy phase. My sister, Jade, was younger, a stay-at-home mom, who always seemed to be in competition with everyone. We were close, growing up, but there was always this cruel edge to the way they joked around. Pranks were a huge part of our family culture. Saran wrap on the toilet, fake lottery tickets, embarrassing stories told at gatherings to humiliate someone. When I was 10, Tyler put a realistic fake spider in my bed. I jerked back so hard I fell off and broke my wrist. Everyone laughed. My dad said I needed to toughen up. That was just how things were in our house. As I got older, I started to see how toxic that was. I stopped participating in the pranks. I started setting boundaries, but I still wanted their approval. I still wanted them to accept the woman I loved. Emma met my family 6 months into our relationship. I warned her they could be intense. We went to their house for Sunday dinner. The moment we walked in, I could feel the judgment. Patricia looked Emma up and down like she was evaluating a piece of furniture. Tyler made some joke about me finally bringing a girl home. Jade asked Emma a million questions, each one feeling more like an interrogation than genuine interest. Then came dessert. Patricia brought out pecan pie, her specialty. Emma politely declined and explained that she had a severe tree nut allergy. The reaction was immediate. Patricia raised an eyebrow and said, "Oh, one of those allergies." Tyler leaned back in his chair and said, "So, you're saying you have never actually tried pecans? Maybe you are not really allergic. Maybe you just think you are." Emma stayed composed. She explained anaphylaxis. She showed them her EpiPen. She described what happens when her body encounters nuts. My dad laughed. Actually laughed. He said, "Kids these days have allergies to everything. When I was young, we just toughed it out." I jumped in to defend Emma. I told them it was serious, life-threatening. The tension at the table was thick. Jade chimed in with some story about her friend's daughter who had a peanut allergy but could still be around them, implying that Emma was being dramatic. I noticed my family exchanging looks, little smirks, like they were in on some joke I did not understand. On the drive home, Emma was quiet. Finally, she said, "Your family does not believe me." I reassured her they would come around. They just needed time to understand. I was wrong. Over the next year, the pattern continued. Patricia would forget and serve dishes with nut oils, then act surprised when Emma could not eat them. Tyler called Emma high maintenance behind her back. I saw the messages in the family group chat. Jokes about Emma's imaginary allergy, memes about people faking food allergies for attention. I confronted Tyler once. He told me to relax, that they were just messing around, that Emma needed to lighten up. I should have cut him off then. I should have protected Emma better. but I kept hoping they would change. I kept making excuses for them. I kept dragging Emma to family events, even though I could see how anxious they made her. When I proposed, my parents' reaction was lukewarm. Patricia said, "Are you sure you have only known her 2 years?" At our wedding, Tyler gave a best man speech that included a joke about Emma's special dietary needs. People laughed. Emma laughed too, but I saw the hurt in her eyes. After the wedding, my dad pulled me aside and said, "You're babying her son. A wife should be tougher than that." I felt torn. I wanted Emma to be accepted. I wanted my family to see what I saw in her. I wanted everyone to just get along. That desire almost killed her. Late October, my mom called with an invitation to Thanksgiving. It was going to be a big family gathering. All the extended family was coming. Aunts, uncles, cousins, the whole crew. Patricia's voice on the phone was warm. She said, "It would mean so much if you both came. I will make sure there's plenty Emma can eat." Something in her tone made me feel hopeful. Maybe this was it. Maybe they were finally ready to accept her. Emma was hesitant when I told her. "Are you sure we should go?" she asked. I promised I would watch everything. I would not let her eat anything unsafe. I would protect her. She agreed, but I could see the worry in her eyes. In the weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, Patricia texted me recipes. She asked what Emma could eat. She sent me pictures of ingredient labels. This felt like real progress. I told Emma, "See, they are trying." She wanted to believe it. So did I. Thanksgiving morning, we drove to my parents' house in the suburbs. It was a large 2-story home, decorated with fall wreaths and pumpkins. Cars were already filling the driveway. Inside the house was warm and crowded. Extended family was everywhere. At first, everyone was friendly to Emma. Tyler's wife made a point of telling Emma she had made sure her green bean casserole was nut-free. Jade showed Emma the ingredient labels she had saved from all her dishes. It felt genuine. Emma started to relax. I felt relieved. Maybe I had been too harsh on my family. Maybe they really were making an effort. We watched football in the living room. Emma chatted with Jade about her kids. The house smelled incredible. Turkey, roasting cinnamon, and apples, all the traditional scents. Patricia was in the kitchen refusing any help. She kept saying, "I have got everything under control." When dinner was ready, we all gathered around the big dining room table. 20 people, 3 generations, everyone talking and laughing. Patricia brought out the dishes one by one. Turkey, stuffing mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, cranberry sauce, fresh rolls. She made an announcement. "Everything is safe for Emma. I triple-checked every ingredient." Emma thanked her. Her voice was full of genuine gratitude. I squeezed Emma's hand under the table. We served our plates. Emma took small portions, still cautious but clearly grateful. The first few bites seemed fine. Conversation flowed. My uncle told a story about his fishing trip. My cousin complained about her job. Everything felt normal. Good even. Then, 10 minutes into the meal, Emma's face changed. She touched her throat. "Something is wrong," she said. Her voice was hoarse. I immediately put down my fork. "What do you feel?" I asked. She said, "My throat is itching, tingling in my mouth." She started coughing, dropped her fork. I stood up. "Where is your purse? Your EpiPen?" Emma pointed toward the living room, but she was gasping now. Red hives were spreading up her neck like wildfire. Her breathing was becoming labored, a horrible wheezing sound. I ran to get her purse. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely unzip it. I found the EpiPen pulled off the cap. The table had gone quiet. Everyone was staring. Then Tyler laughed. Actually laughed. He said, "Oh man, she is really selling it." Jade giggled nervously. I wanted to scream. "This is not funny," I said. My voice cracked. "What did you put in the food?" Patricia looked away, would not meet my eyes. Emma's lips were swelling. Her eyes were watering. She could barely speak. "Cannot breathe," she whispered. I jabbed the EpiPen into Emma's thigh right through her jeans. I called 911 immediately. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped the phone. The operator answered. I tried to explain. "Wife, anaphylaxis, severe allergic reaction. Need ambulance now." The operator was calm, asking for the address, telling me to stay on the line. While I was on the phone, I screamed at my family. "What did you do? What did you put in the food?" Tyler was not laughing anymore, but he still had this defensive smirk on his face. He said, "We put almond flour in the stuffing. Just a little bit. We wanted to see if she was faking." Everything stopped. The world tilted. My dad said, "Oh, come on. We did not think it would actually hurt her." My mom said, "We thought she was exaggerating all this time. You know how people are about food these days." Jade said, "Lots of people say they have allergies when they just do not like things." Emma collapsed. She slid off her chair onto the floor. Her face was grotesquely swollen. Her breathing was raspy and desperate, like she was trying to suck air through a straw. I dropped to my knees beside her, cradling her head. I was begging her to hold on. The operator was still on the phone giving me instructions. Some family members started to look scared, but Tyler was still defensive. "It was just a prank," he said. "She will be fine." My uncle finally said, "Maybe we should help." But my dad said, "Let us not overreact. The ambulance is coming." Emma's eyes were rolling back. I was screaming. "She is dying. You did this. You are killing her." Those 7 minutes waiting for the paramedics were the longest of my life. I watched Emma's chest barely rise and fall. Her breathing was so shallow I was not sure she was getting any air at all. When the paramedics finally arrived, they immediately took over. Oxygen mask, IV line, second dose of epinephrine. They were moving fast, communicating in medical terms I did not understand. They loaded Emma onto a stretcher. I climbed into the ambulance with her. As the doors closed, I looked back at my family. They were all standing in the doorway. Tyler had his hands in his pockets. Patricia was crying, but no one was running to help. No one looked truly sorry. They just looked inconvenienced. In the ambulance, the EMT asked me what Emma had ingested. I told him almond flour. He asked how much. I said I did not know. Then I said the words that made it real. My family put it in the food without telling us. The EMT's face darkened. "Intentionally?" he asked. I nodded. I could not speak. He exchanged a look with his partner. At the emergency room, they rushed Emma into a trauma bay. I was stuck in the waiting room. My shirt was soaked with sweat. My hands would not stop shaking. I could hear the medical team shouting orders behind the closed doors. They worked on Emma for 40 minutes. Each minute felt like an hour. Finally, a doctor came out. She said, "She is stable now, but this was extremely serious. Another few minutes we might have lost her." I broke down right there in the waiting room. Just completely fell apart. The doctor sat down next to me. She asked what happened. When I explained that my family had deliberately given Emma an allergen as a prank, the doctor's expression turned to disgust. "Someone deliberately gave her an allergen," she repeated. "That is assault. You understand that, right? That is assault." The word hit me like a physical blow. Assault. My family had not just pranked Emma. They had assaulted her. They had poisoned her. They had almost murdered her. And some of them were still laughing about it. 2 hours later, my phone started exploding with text messages. Patricia wrote, "How is she? We are so worried." Tyler sent, "Dude, we did not mean for this to happen. It got out of hand." Jade wrote, "Is Emma okay? We feel terrible." My dad texted, "Call us when you can." I stared at those messages, read them over and over. Then Tyler sent another one. But seriously, how are we supposed to know it was that bad? That message broke something inside me. I called Tyler. He answered on the second ring. "Hey man, look, we are really sorry." I cut him off. My voice was cold and flat. "You almost killed her." Silence on the other end. Then Tyler said, "We did not think." "You did not think," I said. "You poisoned my wife." "It was not poison," Tyler said. "It was just almonds. She is allergic, not dying." "She was dying," I said. "The doctor said another few minutes and she would be dead." More silence. Then Tyler said, "Okay, that is intense, but she is fine now, right?" I could not believe what I was hearing. He still did not get it. Tyler continued, "Look, we will apologize to her face. We will make it right, but you have to admit she has been pretty dramatic about this whole allergy thing." I hung up, immediately blocked his number. Then my parents called. I almost did not answer, but I did. Patricia was crying. "Honey, we are so sorry. We just wanted to prove she was not being truthful. We did not mean any harm." "You did not mean harm," I said. "You put almond flour in her food, knowing she is deathly allergic to almonds." My dad grabbed the phone from her. "Now, son, you need to calm down. This is still your family. You chose to endanger my wife's life as a prank," I said. "We made a mistake," he said, "but families forgive. That is what families do. Emma could have died on your dining room floor," I said, "and you are asking me to calm down." Patricia took the phone back. "We will make it right. We will send flowers. We will apologize properly. Just please do not shut us out." "Stay away from us," I said. "I mean it." I hung up and blocked both their numbers. I went back to Emma's room. She was awake now, but barely. Oxygen tubes in her nose. Her face was still swollen, puffy, and discolored. Her voice was weak and raspy. She looked at me and whispered, "Your family." I sat down beside her bed and took her hand. "I am so sorry," I said. "I never should have made you go." "They did it on purpose?" she asked. I nodded. I could not hold back my tears anymore. Emma was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "They wanted to prove I was lying." "Yes," I said, "and almost killed me instead." Her eyes filled with tears. Not just physical pain, but the deep, soul-crushing pain of betrayal. She said, "I told you they did not believe me. You kept saying they would come around." She was right. I had failed her. I had put her in danger because I wanted my family's approval more than I wanted her safety. "What now?" she asked. "I'm cutting them off," I said. "Completely. I should have done it a long time ago." Emma squeezed my hand weakly. "I will not ask you to do that." "You are not asking," I said. "I am choosing. I choose you. I will always choose you." The hospital social worker came in later that evening. She asked if we wanted to file a police report. I looked at Emma. She nodded. We both gave statements to a police officer. He was shocked. "They admitted to putting the allergen in her food knowingly?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "They called it a prank." The officer shook his head. This could be criminal assault. Depending on the district attorney, maybe even attempted manslaughter. We filed the report. The officer took all my family's contact information. 2 days later, a detective called. They were opening an investigation. Then Patricia called from a different number. She was hysterical. "How could you call the police on your own family? How could you try to kill my wife?" I said. "We were not trying to kill her," Patricia shouted. "We thought she was exaggerating." "Your thoughts almost murdered her," I said. "I told you for years how serious this was. You chose not to believe it." "If you go through with this, you will destroy this family," she said. "You destroyed this family when you put almond flour in that stuffing," I said. "Goodbye, Mom." I hung up and blocked that number too. The police investigation continued. 3 weeks later, the district attorney decided to file charges. Reckless endangerment for both Patricia and Tyler. My family hired a lawyer. That lawyer called me, tried to negotiate. "Your family is willing to pay all medical bills if you drop the charges," he said. "Tell them to talk to the district attorney," I said. "I am not dropping anything." Then the extended family started calling. Aunts and uncles, cousins I had not spoken to in years, all of them with the same message. "You are tearing the family apart. They made a mistake, but this is extreme. Emma is fine now, so why punish them?" My response to each of them was the same. They deliberately poisoned my wife. There is no coming back from that. Some family members understood. My cousin Marcus called and said, "I am with you, man. What they did was insane. I would do the same thing." But most of them sided with Patricia and Gerald. They kept saying blood is thicker than water. They said family forgives family. They said I was overreacting. I stopped answering calls from anyone with my last name. I changed my phone number. At work, word got around about what happened. My coworkers were horrified. My boss pulled me aside and said, "If you need time off, take it. Family or not, what they did is unforgivable." The support from people who were not related to me by blood made me realize something important. Family is not just about shared DNA. It is about who shows up for you, who protects you, who values your life. My biological family had failed that test catastrophically. Patricia sent a letter to our apartment. It was long and rambling, half apology and half justification. "We have always loved you. We never meant to hurt Emma. We just did not understand how serious it was." I threw the letter away without finishing it. Emma saw me do it. She did not say anything. She just hugged me. Emma recovered physically over the next 3 weeks. Emotionally, took much longer. She had nightmares about that dinner. She would wake up gasping, touching her throat, reliving it. I held her through every single one. We started going to therapy together. Our therapist validated everything we were feeling. She said, "When someone shows you they do not value your life, believe them." 3 months after Thanksgiving, the legal case was resolved. Patricia and Tyler both pled no contest to reckless endangerment. They each got probation, community service, and fines. Chance and Emma did not attend the hearing. We were done giving that family any more of our energy. We started building new traditions. Thanksgiving at our apartment with friends. Christmas volunteering at a local shelter. Emma's artwork started selling online. I got a promotion at work. We adopted a dog, a golden retriever mix we named Bailey. Life felt lighter without my family's constant judgment and toxicity. Emma smiled more. She laughed easier. I realized I'd been carrying the weight of their dysfunction for years. Letting go was painful but necessary. We talked about having kids someday. I want our children to know they are valued, I said, believed, protected. Emma looked at me and said, "They will be, because you know what that looks like now. You know what real family is." It has been a year since that Thanksgiving. I still think about it sometimes, but not with anger anymore. More with clarity. I can see now how many red flags I ignored over the years. The dismissive comments, the cruel jokes, the constant disrespect toward Emma. I wanted so badly for her to be accepted by my family that I did not protect her the way I should have. That is my biggest regret, not cutting them off sooner. Patricia tried to reach out twice more, once through a mutual friend who said she wanted to reconcile. My answer was simple: no. Another time, she showed up at our apartment unannounced. I did not open the door. She left a gift basket on our doorstep. We donated it to a shelter without opening it. Tyler apparently tells people that I overreacted. That Emma was not really in that much danger. Mutual acquaintances have reported this back to me. I do not engage. Their version of events does not matter. The truth is in the hospital records, the police report, the doctor's statement that Emma nearly died. Facts do not care about their feelings. Jade reached out once via email. She wrote, "I am sorry for my part in this. I should have stopped them." I appreciated the acknowledgement, but I did not respond. Sorry does not undo trauma. Sorry does not give Emma back the sense of safety she lost. Gerald never apologized. That does not surprise me. Some people never admit they are wrong. My cousin Marcus became a good friend through all of this. He and Emma have game nights with Marcus and his partner now. We are building chosen family, people who show up, people who care, people who would never dream of endangering someone they claim to love. Emma's parents, who live across the country, flew out to visit after everything happened. They stayed for a week. They cooked nut-free meals with genuine care and attention. They showed me what real family support looks like. Her dad pulled me aside one evening and said, "Thank you for protecting our daughter." I cried. That validation meant more than anything my biological family ever gave me. Here's what I learned from all of this. Love is not enough if there is no respect. My family may have loved me in their own twisted way, but they did not respect Emma. They did not respect her medical reality. They did not respect her as a person. And when someone does not respect the person you love, they do not really respect you either, because they are showing you that your judgment means nothing. Your choices mean nothing. Your protection of your partner means nothing. Boundaries are not cruel. They are necessary. Cutting off my family was not about punishment. It was about safety. Emma's physical safety, our emotional safety, our peace of mind. Some people will say, "But they are your family," as if shared DNA excuses attempted manslaughter, as if blood relation means you owe people access to your life even when they endanger it. I used to believe that. Not anymore. Family is who shows up, who believes you, who protects the people you love. My biological family failed every single test. The family Emma and I are building now passes every time. Emma still has nightmares occasionally, but less frequently now. She is painting again. Vibrant, beautiful work full of color and life. She's thinking about opening an online shop. I support every single dream she has because that is what love actually looks like. Not pranks, not tests, not forced tolerance of abuse. If someone tries to tell you that cutting off toxic family is wrong, ask them this question. If a stranger tried to kill my wife as a joke, would you tell me to forgive them? Then why does shared blood make it different? It does not. Emma and I are building a life based on trust, safety, and respect. The kind of life everyone deserves. The kind of life my old family could never give me. And I have never been happier. That Thanksgiving table nearly destroyed everything. Instead, it freed me. Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you shows you exactly who deserves to stay in your life and who needs to go. My family made their choice when they put that almond flour in the stuffing. I made my choice when I blocked their numbers and chose my wife. Every single time. Without question, without regret. That is the lesson. Choose the people who choose you. Protect the people who deserve protection. And never apologize for keeping dangerous people out of your life even if they happen to share your last name. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever had to cut off family members for your own safety or the safety of someone you love? How did you handle it? Drop a comment below and share your story. Your experience might help someone else who is struggling with the same decision. And if this story resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who might be making excuses for toxic family members. Someone who needs permission to choose their own peace. Thank you for listening to my story. I know it was not easy to hear, but I hope it helps you understand that you do not owe anyone access to your life just because of biology. You deserve to be surrounded by people who value you, believe you, and protect you. Stay safe out there. Choose wisely. And remember that the family you choose is just as valid as the family you were born into. Sometimes even more so.